when the doors between worlds open, her death will release her power to the chosen, and they will win. If this condition is not met, the Fianna will disappear, never to return to any world. This will be done. This is complete. The spell would pass through her blood and down through the generations from one druid priestess to another. One day her descendant would blood the horn. One day the daughter of her daughter's daughter would know the joy and power of self-sacrifice. She smiled and echoed, "This is complete." The moon turned the color of blood. The rowan tree trembled, and the earth shook beneath her feet and opened, swallowing the Fianna. The men were there, and then gone. And the great maw closed again, leaving no seam, nothing to show what had been, nor what lay beneath. New York City. Belgina, May 1st, 1874. Diarmid. First was the darkness. Or, no, not the darkness itself, but rather his awareness that it was dark, and that it had been so for a very long time. Next came memory. Only bits and pieces, golden hair and eyes the color of a spring morn. Her voice cautioning him not to go without his great sword. Then the boar, charging, tusks red with blood, pain, there had been pain, and thirst, and death. And then, from far away, his foster father's voice, conversations held in a gray twilight. Now Diarmid heard murmurings, young men's voices. He opened his eyes, blinking at the daylight peeking through an unshuttered window. He saw the ceiling first, spotted with mildew, in one place black with soot, and then the rest of the room, seeping walls, a pot-bellied iron contraption in one corner, pallets of straw, his friends dressed as he was, in linen shirts, capes, and boots. The Fianna. He knew a moment of swelling pride. And then he realized that the undying sleep was broken. They had been called back as foretold. Ireland had need of them again. He saw the white-blonde head of his best friend, Oscar. Then Oisin, Oscar's father, looking strangely young, no more than 24, as if there were only a few years between him and his son instead of more than 20. Some of them had died old men, some of them in war, some, like Diarmid, by other means. But they were all young now, most of them, like him, 18 or 19, some a bit older. Gall, no longer haggard. Keenan, still thin, but not yet gaunt and grey. Conan, bald as always, but then he'd been bald in his youth, and still wearing that stinking sheepskin about his shoulders. And then there was Finn. His golden red hair glistened in the pale light. His gaze was as sharp and blue as ever. Finn, whom Diarmid had betrayed. Finn, who'd had the means to save him but had let him die. Diarmid rose to one elbow, trying to gain his bearings, yet nothing was familiar but these friends he'd known the whole of his life. "A restorative sleep, it seems," Finn said with a smile, rising, flexing arms and shoulders. "It looks to be all of us together again, lads. The horn sounded at last." "Where is she?" Oisin asked. "Shouldn't she be here, the priestess?" Diarmid looked around, no woman anywhere, no Valletta. He remembered hearing the spell through his dreams, the archdruid's booming voice and the Valletta's soft one, though still powerful. Even then he'd felt a foreboding, and now he looked for her with dread. There was another part of the prophecy that had a special role for him. He didn't think the others knew of it. He wished he was ignorant himself. "She's not here," he said, hoping no one heard his relief. "Who blew the horn?" Finn asked. "Where's she who blooded it? She should be—" There was the sound of rapid footsteps, a clatter, and the door sprang open. A boy burst inside. Threadbare coverings on his legs, short boots revealing bare ankles, a shirt with buttons, a small cap. The boy skidded to a stop, his breath coming fast. "You'd best get up! Get up! Get up! You got to take out of here! The YOs are coming, and they're going to take your hide."